As you head into the locker room, what's your message going to be to the team before they come out in this game?
Yeah, it's all about the work, you know, and game day's a work day, right? So let's focus right here, right now. We got to improve, right? The shine's wore off. It's time to go play football.
Does that message ever change?
Well, I hope not. But, you know, we're in year one here. Game 3, we got a lot. It's new, right? It's important that we learn the expectations. We got to have high expectations for how we play football and the character makeup of our team.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
And a line drive kick handled off one hop by Battie. Had some space before being taken down just past the 20. And then here's Bohannon, 10-2 as a starter, including his time at Baylor, and a Sugar Bowl win against Lane Kiffin's Rebels in January.
Great decision maker. He's a mobile quarterback. Can he get the ball out of his hands? Because this Florida defensive line has been playing really well as of late.
Battie is the starting running back. And he'll get a try on first down, and a nice move to the perimeter to pick up 5 on first down.
It's so important for this USF team to stay ahead of the chains, right? They have to be really good on first down, put themselves in situations where they can be 50-50, run or pass on second and third down. Can't let Florida turn them into a one-dimensional team.
Pressure coming from the edge. Bohannon got rid of it, and it's incomplete. It was right in his face, Shamar James. Bulls have struggled on third down this season. Bohannon complete to Xavier Weaver. He's got a Bulls first down before being hogtied by Trey Dean. Pickup of 12.
Great route by Weaver on the outside. Just a stop route. He's going to sell the vertical downfield. Stopped on a dime, and Avery Helm wasn't able to recover in time, and an accurate pass by Bohannon. That's what they needed. A confident start, move the chains a little bit, settle in here in the swamp because it got loud there on third down.
Jaron Mangum is now in at running back. Weaver in motion. And Mangum will get a try. And he's immediately swallowed by Tyreek Sapp, second-year freshman out of Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale. Mangum has been a mainstay for the Bulls, senior from Detroit, but he came over from Colorado. He's one of 30 four-year transfers on the roster this year. A couple of dozen of those are on the 2D. When Mel Tucker left for Michigan State, Mangum thought it'd be fitting for him to find greener pastures as well. 2nd and 9. The sprint for the quarterback Bohannon. He's got it past midfield, and the Bulls marching early. 15-yard carry.
Oh, just a little quarterback power. Jaron Mangum is going to be the lead blocker here. He's going to get here. Bohannon right behind him. You know, you hear the term adding a hat, right? Anytime you have a quarterback that's mobile, you add a hat to the line of scrimmage, and now the offense has an advantage because nobody's on the quarterback there.
That was a dynamite draw by you right out of the gate.
Hey, got to be sharp. You know, it's hot here. I got warmed up early.
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Saw you studying your picture pages on the drive over. Everybody over 40 is singing that song. Bulls in plus territory. They haven't scored in the first quarter yet this season through a couple of games. And on a play action, trying to find the screen. And Weaver lost the ball. Was he down or not? Florida said it's ours. And James, a freshman from Mobile, Alabama, is the one that came up with it. And a promising opening drive thwarted with that giveaway.
Gonna watch Weaver, man. He's trying to catch himself.
Looked like Avery Helm just on a flyby was able to get a piece of it and poke it free.
Yeah, no forearm down there for Weaver, so that was a huge play by Helm there. after getting burned on that third down. Well, not burned on the third down, but gave up a big completion down the sideline to pick up that first down. Made up for it there with a huge play.
Looked like it was Antoine Powell Ryland Jr. who ended up getting the strip, and James, after blitzing on one, and then gets a fumble recovery. And now the Gainesville native out of Eastside High School, Anthony Richardson. Up and down performances so far this year through a pair of games against a couple of top 25 foes. Naquan Wright will get the start in a loaded backfield for the Gators. And Wright rips off a big one before T.J. Robinson brings him down, a pickup of 8.
If you're a Florida fan, you're familiar with some of the ups and downs already of the year. For Anthony Richardson, some accuracy issues, some processing issues. I tell you what, I love that first play. They lined up Naquan Wright, the running back, at receiver, motioned him back into the backfield. That just gives your quarterback information. It's going to tell him if it's man versus zone. Give your quarterback some knowledge and some tips before the ball is snapped. That's how he's going to play faster and be more accurate.
Trying to get Dante Zanders on the right side of the formation on 2nd and short. They fake the end around, and there's another first down run for Naquan Wright. Sophomore from Opelika, Florida, pickup of 8.
Boy, really good block by right tackle Austin Barber. Right here on the right side of your screen, he's on a one-on-one block. Getting a start, filling in for Michael Tarquin, who's out with an injury. They really planned on having Barber play a little bit more in the first couple weeks, just didn't end up happening. So a very capable replacement at the right tackle position.
He's got big size, and they got a jumbo package in. Go a little tempo here. Play action. Richardson dangerous on the rollout, and a pitch to Zipperer, and he stays in bounds. No, he stepped on the end line. It'll be a gain of 4. I mean, if you're a defensive coordinator, if you're Bob Shoop, you hold your breath, and Anthony Richardson leaves the pocket.
Yeah, contain is going to be the most important thing for Bob Shoop, the defensive coordinator at USF. I feel like Anthony could have kept this one. I mean, love a quarterback that keeps his eyes downfield, a little creative flip at the end, but you're telling me 11's going to stop 15? I don't know.
He had a pretty good game against South Florida when they met before. 115 rushing yards and a touchdown. Out of the pistol. Play action again. Richardson wide open, and it's Zipper out of bounds after a pickup of 20.
That's a great play design. You get in pistol, double wing there. You get everybody to stack in the box, and that's going to create green grass on the outside. What I love about that throw, look at the trajectory. We know he can throw it through a brick wall.
Yeah.
I mean, he can hit 60 plus on the radar gun if he wanted to, but that time took a little bit off it and was accurate.
Trying to find the edge, and Xavier Henderson shoved out of bounds for a loss. This drive started with Florida's first fumble recovery of the season after the Bulls had marched into Florida territory.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13.
Another heavy set here. Going to have one-on-one coverage with Shorter on the top of your screen.
They'll run it on 2nd and long. And Naquan Wright picks up 6. So interesting decision making from an offensive standpoint. 3rd and medium with a guy like Anthony Richardson.
And one aspect we haven't seen a ton of since really week 1, so I didn't see it much last week, was design quarterback runs.
Yep.
We'll get into kind of the depth behind Anthony Richardson, but that's a piece of his game and this offense that's going to be so important to have success as the season rolls on.
To throw on 3rd and 7. And try to scramble out of the pocket. Picks up 2. Won't go as a sack, but that is a huge stop for the Bulls. Eddie Kelly was able to bring him to the ground.
Actually, really good protection. It was the coverage. Coverage on the back end by USF. They were plastered on every receiver, and Anthony Richardson didn't have anywhere to go with the ball.
31-yard attempt for Adam Mahalik, who was a soccer player primarily in high school. And in his typical Saturdays, he'd be watching the Premier League instead of college football. All football now, and that one fits in the upright 31-yarder is good. As he wants to bring it out. And got crunched at the end of that 19-yard return. Against Howard last week, 17 of 28 for 219 yards. And he'll hand it off to Battie. Got a stiff arm. And is able to make 5 out of nothing.
Tell you what, doing a really good job getting to the edge. And if I was USF, I'd get to the edge too, because Desmond Watson just checked in the game. All 415 pounds of him. That's it. When I watched him on tape, you used to seeing a big guy like that just kind of holds people, right? He just sits there. No, this dude's got some wiggle. He's swim move you. He's got some juice, a little burst.
It looks like every piece of his uniform is a size too small.
Yeah, it looks painted on.
Yeah, he's wearing Tebow shirts out there. On 2nd and 5. Lob up the back foot. And it's hauled in by Omarion Dollison for a first down. Here, Bohannon's got some cool to him, doesn't he?
Yeah, cool, calm, collected, and I actually really like the plan so far by opposite coordinator Travis Trickett. A lot of motion, getting the ball to the edge, finding space, making these linebackers and secondary players work sideline to sideline.
Had wins against Texas, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss in his time playing for Dave Aranda and Baylor. And that one just ahead of Battie and incomplete. He was recruited there by Matt Rule. He's had 3 very distinct different coaches, and this one just off the mark.
Yeah, they're really liking the matchup right now with their running backs. You see Battie here just on a check down, but he's going to be working on Amari Burney in the middle. Got a 2-way go, so create space and let your running back work on the linebacker. Just didn't bring it in.
Been really impressed so far with right tackle 67 Demontre Jacobs handling himself in pass pro against Brenton Cox Jr., who's been outstanding this season.
Transfer in from Grambling. Mangum is the back. Bohannon operates out of the gun. A lot of movement up front. Leading 10. They get just a couple, and that will leave 3rd and 8 for this South Florida team.
We've really only seen 1 snap of pressure from Florida. Shamar James blitzed on one of the first plays of the game. Let's see if Florida decides to dial up some pressure here on 3rd and long.
Patrick Toney, the first-year defensive coordinator.
They're going to drop back.
They do bring a linebacker in a zone blitz. Bohannon has to step away. A flag down. Bohannon will scramble for the first down as it stands, but likely coming back after a wasted 14-yard run.
Holding on the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay.
David Smith, our referee. Scooby Williams is the one who brought the pressure.
Yeah, what we call a simulated pressure there. So it was still a 4-man rush. You're going to see guys drop out of here, drop out. They're going to bring pressure from this side, but still only 4 rushing. So to the quarterback in the offensive line, a lot of times it feels like pressure, and it's treated like pressure from a protection standpoint. But Florida's still able to play coverage with guys' eyes on the quarterback.
Third down 18. And they will run it. Battie has room. And he picked up the first down with a 21-yard gain. Wow, what a play by the Bulls.
Boy, watch Donovan Jennings here pulling around the big left tackle 73. Didn't really get a big piece of anybody, but just got in the way.
Bulls are trying to go tempo. We got a flag on the play. Saw Bobby Bentley, wide receiver coach.
All 11 players were not set prior to the snap. First down.
And they're just getting going a little too fast.
All 11, huh? A team effort.
Now 1st and 15. Cole, I kind of got the feeling, we were talking with Jeff Scott yesterday, there'd be less tempo and more trying to run the clock for the Bulls tonight.
Well, not only him, but obviously he's talking to Coach Trickett, the offensive coordinator, as well. Said, I've been in these games. I was a coach at Sanford. We win against Power 5 teams. You got to shorten the game. It's the only way to give yourself a real chance.
Well, they're going to pick and choose. Pressure again, and Bohannon on a crosser finds Weaver. Xavier Weaver Jr. from Orlando came into tonight's game. It's 949 yards away from the school record set by Andre Davis back in 2014. And 113 against BYU week 1. That was a game they were blown out in the first quarter, but they battled and they made it interesting in the second half. That was after a 2.5-hour weather delay in Tampa. It's now Michael Dukes in at running back. He'll get a try. Finds 3, 3rd and 3 coming.
Second time they tried to go with the counter play there, and you've got to give these backs for South Florida credit. So many times you'll see running backs outrun their pullers, and they'll just get outside the rush lanes, allow defenders to get upfield, make that tackle. Good patience, kind of staying behind, floating, and then waiting for that crease to open up, then getting north and south.
USF 2 for 2 on 3rd down tonight. 1 via the pass, 1 via the long run.
Another unbalanced formation. This is a tackle here on the end of the line of scrimmage. Last time, yep, they brought the tight end over and ran that direction.
Safety running up to help that direction, trying to read the play. Bohannon with a stiff arm is able to pick up the first down. Scooby Williams forced that out of bounds, gain of 4. That was even with Trey Dean trying to read the play and fill in late.
You go unbalanced, you get everybody to shift to the field. You see Trey Dean coming in late, but USF still has 1 extra hat. Really didn't even block it up perfectly. That's just a great job of Bohannon of knowing where the sticks were, only needed to pick up a few.
Mentioned that Bohannon did not win the quarterback job at Baylor in the spring, but that staff absolutely loved and respected him in every way as a team leader. And those qualities are a big reason that this South Florida program wanted to bring him in. He wants to go deep here, and he will. Man coverage into the end zone. Incomplete. Joffrey Brown, the intended receiver. Marshall on the coverage.
Oh, and a similar shot play to what Florida did on the other end, or tried to do. It's pretty good coverage by Marshall. Safety bites on the over route. You see him come through the screen right there, so no help over the top. Marshall does a really good job of seeing, playing the hands, and then finding and locating the ball. Boy, still a good opportunity there for Brown to pull that one in.
Now, Coach Tony told us 2 shots a quarter, 4 shots at half he expects this South Florida team to take.
And yet a sustained drive, 10th play of this one. First drive ended on a fumble. Straight off the gut, eating up the dashes like Pac-Man, and Mangum picks up a first down. Pick up a 23.
Boy, watch this down block right here that opens up a huge hole. Just washing 94 down. That's a block right there. A drive. I mean, Cole could drive through that. Cole's not a very good driver.
He is not a good driver, but he's an aggressive driver. He makes up for it by ignoring the rules of the road.
Oh, he hit a couple speed bumps going about 50 earlier.
Passengers seem to enjoy it.
11th play of the drive. Batty out of Sarasota is the running back. Bulls averaging 9 yards a carry. Quarterback Bohannon will increase that number as he gets stuck at the 10, but picks up a fresh set of downs.
Boy, the eye candy here, the motion across the formation is really going to pull 17's eye. See the linebacker flow over the top there, and Bohannon goes in the opposite direction. Scooby Williams there filling in. One of the guys, him and Shamar James, filling in for Ventrell Miller. Patrick Toney, the defensive coordinator, said communication was going to be an issue. All right, couple new guys in there. They were going to rely on Amari Burney, number 2 for Florida, his leadership and communication, but a couple new faces there filling in for Ventrell Miller, and already this defense looks a little out of sorts on the second level.
They look surprised. 2 tight end set again. Gives straight ahead. Touchdown, Bulls. USF's first quarter touchdown of the season, and they've surprised Florida on their second drive.
just about a down block by Dustin Hall. Last play. Look at this double team here. Bam, bam, this double team. Look at all the movement they get to open up this hole. Right on Javon Dexter, who's been playing at an extremely high level. But he got two big bodies, 300 plus, moving guys up front. And Cole, I tell you, really impressed with this USF plan early on.
Spencer Schrader, the point after. An early 7-3 lead for the heavy underdogs from Tampa. Gators will have the ball when we return, try to score on their second possession. A couple of different injuries, including a concussion against Georgia. Had a bum knee that was finally operated on in the offseason. He'll toss it to Montrell Johnson Jr. and the pile will move an extra yard for an 8-yard pickup.
It really looks like Florida feels like they can be more physical than USF. And 12 personnel again on this first play. Entirely 12 personnel the previous drive. I really want to see them start to use Anthony's legs. Right? I mean, hardly any design runs last week at all for Anthony Richardson.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the offense, number 58. 15-yard penalty. It will be second down.
Cole, that's the freshman Austin Barber. How do you feel about an offensive lineman getting flagged for being too rough?
I can tell you this, Rob Sale's not going to be mad about the effort. So, you know Rob for a long time. You want to see your guys give extra effort, play through the whistle. Echo of the whistle is what you want to play through. But you have to be intelligent. You have to be smart. If a play is shutting itself down, you have to understand officials probably going to be looking for something like that. But, hey, I'm a younger guy. I hadn't played a ton of football. Go out there and get him, kid. I'm all about it.
Jordan, before the flag, you mentioned running Richardson. Well, the second string quarterback on paper is Jack Miller, the Ohio State transfer. He's still out with it for another couple of weeks, maybe. Had a hand injury. Richardson will go over the middle. And that's the first touch for Ricky Pearsall. And so they kind of feel like in our meetings yesterday, you know, without Miller to back him up, some question marks behind him, we don't want to take too many chances if Richardson has to leave the game.
Yeah, I understand that, but also you got to do what you need to do to win a football game. And I think last week they could have used Anthony a little bit more, and that would have helped. And right now you're in a 7-3 football game. And look, Anthony is a big kid. Get him on the edge. I'm not saying pound his head in between tackles, right? Get him out on the edge. He's a 4'4" guy, 230 pounds. Let him be smart running the football.
Pearsall in motion, and there's a flag down. Gators trying to run it straight ahead. First down if it stands. USF was lined up off sides. It was Rashad Cheney. Bulls have had to make some changes on the defensive line today. They're without Rashawn Yates.
Offside on the defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So Cheney, one tackle spot. The other one manned by Mizzou transfer Jatorian Hansford, who's only 265. And typically plays on the edge.
I think that's part of why Florida's coming out in two tight ends, thinking they can create large surfaces, unbalanced formations, be physical at the point of attack, and overwhelm USF.
Cole asked him during our meetings, we had him on the phone yesterday, what's one athletic feat that you've accomplished that wasn't on the football field that would maybe impress? And here's an impressive run by Montrell Johnson Jr. He is gone. Touchdown, Florida, 62 yards. Mahalik for the point after. And the Gators back in front. Longest player of the year from scrimmage for the Gators.
And a really great block by the center, Kingsley Guakin. Anytime you break a big run, you got to get to the second level, get to those linebackers. Watch him chip here, climb and get to this linebacker right here, number 5, as he scrapes over. Sorry, number 11 there he gets to. Really good job climbing to the second level. And I know Cole smiling ear to ear down there, seeing a center get up onto a linebacker, hit him right in the face, and spring the running back for a huge gain.
Absolutely, no doubt. Love the physicality. The understanding of this scheme is growing with this offensive line. But I'm going to tell you right there, guys, that is the value of Montrell Johnson.
80-pound advantage for Wukon versus Boyles. And no return.
But a lot of that has to do with recruiting and wanting people to feel like your staff's going to be there for a long time.
USF has been consistent. First 2 drives, Bohannon off the mark on first down. Take the pick. Might have been Chaffee Brown he was looking for, and Antoine Powell-Ryland with a big hit.
Yeah, it caused this throw to be a little high. Pressure And as a quarterback, you feel it, right? I mean, it throws off your mechanics a little bit. You don't follow through there. You don't get over the top of the ball. I'll say, if you're a Florida fan sitting there, keep watching the linebacker level for Florida with no Ventrell Miller. These guys right here a few times have been out of position, and that has been the reason USF has hit a couple big plays.
And they go back to that run game again, and Bohannon just 1 for his last 4 through the air. That time a gain of 6 for Dukes.
Good push that time. I'll tell you what, coming into the game, was really impressed with how this defensive line has been playing. Gervon Dexter having really the best start to a season we've seen from the former 5-star sophomore there. Brenton Cox playing at a high level. Need them to bow up here on 3rd down. Get some pressure on Bohannon.
USF a perfect 3 for 3 on 3rd down so far tonight.
A little confusion here by Shamar James, a true freshman, over the top of the tight end.
Trying to get it to Battie, and he's dragged down right at the marker. We'll see where they spot it. Maybe just a couple inches short. And they signal 4th down for USF. The offense doesn't want to leave the field. Jeff Scott has a chance to send a message if he keeps his offense out there on 4th and short.
And you see Amari Burney there fighting off a block. Great job.
They're going to go for it.
I love the aggressiveness. This first quarter has gone in the favor of USF.
3 of 5 on 4th down this season. They got a little bit bigger, brought in the tight end Gunnar Greenwald.
And Florida countered that by bringing in Desmond Watson, 415 pounds, right in the middle. Right there is the big boy.
Florida will take a timeout, and they may have saved the Bulls because the play clock was winding out on them. Gators got the girth up front, but the Bulls have had success running so far. Bohannon rarely under center. Here he goes now. And a pitch to the opposite side. Plenty of room for Battie, and now a foot race. And Brian Battie finally dragged down after a 4th down conversion and a 50-yard gain.
So you saw the tight end shift, which pulls guys over. You see some motion here. It's going to get these guys all flowing in that direction. And all you had to do was make sure that defensive end didn't spray out to the running back. That's a great play design. The motion, the pre-snap movement got everybody out of the way, and it's a one-on-one to the corner. And Battie wins it.
Officially 51 yards on the run for the Sarasota native, who already has a touchdown tonight for the Bulls. Had a good game against the Gators last year, and he was playing hurt most of the season. Another run. This time it's the quarterback Bohannon, the sleight of hand, and he takes it for a gain of 11. What a job by USF here early on.
Wow. That's a masterful game plan so far. A ton of misdirection. And Florida has had their eyes in the wrong spots, right? We call it eye candy for a reason. You get motion going, you have unbalanced sets, you start getting defenders to look in one direction, and they're attacking in the opposite.
They've already exceeded the rushing average per game in this one. They had a great job running the ball against Howard last Saturday. 6 rushing touchdowns, 2nd most in program history. But this, well, this is a different animal on the road against a top 25 SEC team. And now Mangum takes it, and he gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Desmond Watson, first man there.
Boy, that's a great play by Desmond Watson, the big man in the middle.
I've never seen a face mask so close to a nose before.
Yeah, it barely fits, man. That's probably a XXX, too.
Bottom bar is practically touching the chin strap.
See if they move these tight ends.
To throw, end zone, a little bit behind, and no flag, incomplete. Coverage by Jalen Kimber.
Again, notice how the motion pulls one guy away and creates a one-on-one matchup at the top of your screen. It's a great job by Jalen Kimber. Little bit of contact there with the offhand. He's got a club hand there. But it's a great job splitting the hands of the receiver. See how his left hand goes right in between the hands of the receiver. Great technical job there by Kimber on the outside. Now a huge third down for Florida.
USF has already converted a 4th down on this drive. Play clock at 2. Bohannon, lob, incomplete. Trying to find Weaver again, and there is no flag.
There was a lot of contact on the outside. Trying to hit a goalpost ball here. Bohannon's taught to throw this to the height of the goalpost, and Weaver wants to go up and get it. He had a tough time getting there. It's a physical matchup on the outside. You see there with Devin Moore, the true freshman for Florida.
So 22-yard attempt for Spencer Schrader. And a chip shot for Schrader. Juanita, currently principal at Earl High School in Earl, Arkansas. Prior to that, his 3rd grade teacher. He said, I got to be honest with him. We met with him yesterday.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, number 15 on the receiving team. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
This is how you learn how to respond, how to lock back in mentally and play a clean football game.
And a big hole for Trevor Etienne. That freshman gets his first touch, and he takes it for 15.
It's got to be a little springboard here. I expect to see a little bit more tempo. Great job by the right side of this offensive line, just caving this thing down.
Dante Sanders, former defensive lineman, moving over to tight end, getting a really nice block there just to not allow, kind of a seal, not a full reach, but just seals it off enough to break contain.
3rd drive of the night for the Gators, and Etienne gets his first chance. Play action. Anthony Richardson taken down. He got rid of the football, and that will leave 3rd and 10. T.J. Robinson with the pressure on the Florida quarterback.
Trying to do a little play action here. Just pressure off the right side, and AR had nowhere to go with the ball. I tell you what, you're in a 10-10 game right now with a team that, frankly, is not as talented as you. I think Billy Napier right now has got to decide and really get past that mental block of, I can't run Anthony Richardson because I'm not comfortable with my backup quarterback situation. I think you got to do what's best for this offense, and using his legs and athleticism is really going to be the key to unlocking this offense. I want to see more of it.
Etienne is unlocked. 2 carries, a pair of first downs, and a pickup of 13. They have Tennessee next week, so even if they somehow get it going in this one, you're going to have to use them in that respect in a high-scoring game against the Volunteers.
Number 76 on the offense. 10-yard
this one coming
from
back.
The spot of the foul. 3 plays, 2nd down.
Garage with the holding penalty.
To me, the bigger point of it, though, is collectively. It's not about Anthony Richardson needs 10, 12, 15 carries a game. It's about forcing the defense to respect it. That backside defensive ends crashing down, seeing the last game or 2 where he had 1. You could maybe count 2 design runs last week. You have to force those safeties to be thinking about it. Make them come down a step or 2 towards the box a little bit faster. Backside corners, you want them thinking about it. When you force that defense to play you straight up, it gives you a lot more advantages on frontside plays.
Gators left with a 2nd and 14. Richardson, nice touch, and a first down grab made by Trent Whittemore. First catch of the season for Whittemore. Finally getting into the flow.
That's a really good job. It's a smash concept, a hitch in a corner route. Look at the touch. That's something on film you saw so many times. Anthony Richardson last week firing these 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and just receivers weren't ready. That's the 2nd completion today that I've seen him take a little bit off the ball and be extremely accurate downfield.
Well, Kevin O'Sullivan, national championship winning baseball coach, was on the field pregame. Maybe he was auditioning. Little run for Etienne again. And this one is good for 7. It is evident the way they talk about Trevor Etienne that he is the running back of the future. The question is, can he be the running back of the present?
Yeah, they got a really good group with him and Montrell Johnson, Naquan Wright, and they kind of said, look, he's earned his right to get more time.
And here he is, straight up the middle, needed 2. Meanwhile, not much travel required for his mom, Danetta, in the stands tonight. Jags are home, so that's a nice, easy commute. Get over, see both boys tilt the rock a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, one of just 3 times this season that she's going to have both boys playing at home.
This is that area of the field that if you had a shot play that you loved, this would be where you dial it up.
And he's going to do just that. Incomplete, but a flag down. Fantastic effort by Justin Shorter. And T-Mac Simpson will be flagged for pass interference from holding.
Pass interference on the defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Pardon me, that's Samaris Brown who got flagged for it.
Boy,
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I mean, that hand fighting happens on every single play, and that wouldn't be surprised because Justin Shorter, 6'4", 223. I mean, got to be physical with him, but.
And compare that to how physical the Florida DBs were on USF's last possession, especially in the end zone, trying to slow down Xavier Weaver.
Yeah, I think they got lucky on that one. I would have left the flag in my pocket there.
Lob, incomplete. Hey, Cole, it's interesting. If you're at this SEC officiating crew and you do something that the visiting team doesn't like, you're not hearing from just one Coach Scott on the sideline.
I was watching a little bit earlier when South Florida was down in the goal line area trying to get a score in the red zone, and then when they came off after the field goal that went in, both Coach Scotts were giving it to the officials on their way back across the sideline. Just interesting to see 2 former head coaches, well, 1 current head coach, and Jeff and his father Brad used to be South Carolina head football coach, both getting in the officials' ears.
Longtime assistant to Bobby Bowden before he took the Carolina job, part of the '93 national championship team. Jet sweep. Here's Xavier Henderson.
Yeah, Brad Scott brought back some bad memories for me today, saying that the first time he had been here since he coached at South Carolina, he started running through the laundry list of names that he played against him. And I said, yeah, Coach, I was at Auburn when you were at South Carolina, and we came down here and got it handed to us a couple times. I know good and well. Twice in 2000. Thanks for bringing it up.
There's a lot of family trees that exist on the USF coaching staff.
Ricky Pearsall right here, really their best pure receiver here on 3rd down. I'd like to see him get involved. Just 1 catch on the night.
Richardson looking for him and has to turn around and go the other way. Anthony Richardson gonna run with a little pump fake, and the scramble is enough for a Florida first down. Hey, sometimes those pump fakes even past the line of scrimmage work.
Well, you'd be surprised. He is trying to hit Pearsall on a quick out route to the field. Little traffic in his face, didn't quite see him. And this is what you want to see, right? I haven't seen a designed run yet for Anthony Richardson, but if your first or second read's not there, use your legs. You're the best athlete on the field. And you saw it there.
Naquan Wright gets bottled up and taken down. It's a loss of a yard. Antonio Greer out of Atlanta Mays High School is a veteran on the defensive unit. Behind the line of scrimmage for the tackle. Bob Shoup, the defensive coordinator, a lot of experience in the SEC. Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Got a reputation for bringing extra guys, trying to get behind the line.
Yeah, Bob Shoup, the DC for USF, one of the smartest football coaches I've ever been around. Loves getting exotic, bringing pressures that confuse a quarterback.
And now 2nd and 11. Richardson having to backtrack. Nobody open, and he'll simply step out of bounds and lose a few.
Boy, a little zone read trying to leak a guy in the flat. They're really going to just read this guy right here. And he does a great job of playing both, right? A lot of times you want to see that defensive end crash down. Quarterback's going to keep it, hit the little flat route right behind it. Great job by Eddie Kelly there, playing both, not giving Anthony Richardson a clean read.
5th sack of the season for USF, first tonight. They're not a team that was big on the sack numbers last year. 3rd and 15. Empty backfield. Trying to set up the screen. Room for Henderson. No. Gets taken down after just a 2-yard gain. It was Dwayne Bowles out of Miami Central, and now flag post play. USF was getting off the field.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 1 on the defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's an automatic first down.
That's Auburn transfer Matthew Hill, and that is a major mistake for USF.
Huge. He was getting mixed up there with left guard Ethan White. Not a lot of times you see a safety and an offensive lineman going at it that late. See those guys. You see Ethan White right there. Watch him as this play goes down. He's fighting. Boy.
What do you think?
You just let those guys play. 77's being physical. Hill kind of shoves him off there. I mean, that's
little hip flip, yeah.
It's a physical football play. I don't see anything.
And so 1st and goal, and the Gators after the penalty are going to punch it in. Naquan Wright from 8 yards out. And that penalty flag means a 4-point swing. Instead of forcing a chip shot field goal, Florida got a 1st and goal and punched it in. And the extra point is good. A couple of flags have gone against South Florida. Their coach not happy. The Gators taking advantage of the extra chance.
Yeah, a little sugar huddle, and USF wasn't ready for that one. Florida.
Here's a chance for a return for Batty. He hadn't been shy tonight. Let's take a look at the penalty that extended that drive for Florida.
Get your eyes on Ethan White right here, number 77. They said this was after the whistle. And I don't know. I hear that whistle after 77 has already been kind of thrown down. And here's the sugar huddle. This is what really set up the touchdown. They're going to get lined up quick, and there's a lot of confusion by USF, especially on the left side of the screen right now. Watch the communication. They're pointing, trying to figure out who's got who, and nobody out there ready for the play. And it's a foot race to the corner of the end zone, and Naquan Wright wins it. But he should.
Cole has a great perspective of this from an offensive line standpoint. Get to that in a second. Bohannon will pull it and rip off another nice run on 1st down. Cole, how do you see that play from an offensive lineman perspective?
Well, I love it. I mean, I love the fact that 77's getting after me. Ethan White's doing what he's coached to do. I know for a fact that Rob Sale coaches his guys to play to the echo of the whistle, so I'm fine with that, and I'm good with it. But as a defender, at the same time, Tom, you have the right to be able to protect yourself. Would you just put your arms up and let a guy pancake you? I mean, I don't want to be DDT'd in the ground. I don't need that. So,
a spine buster, maybe?
The defender deserves it.
2nd and 6. And Batty picks up 7. How much do the Gators miss Ventrell Miller at the heart of the defense?
I think they do. I think we've noticed a little bit with Scooby Williams, Shamar James in there, the true freshman. At times, some of the misdirection, and really USF throwing a lot of them. They're going unbalanced, tackle eligible, moving the tight ends, eye candy before the snap. So they're putting a lot of stress on that linebacker position. Amari Burney in there is an experienced guy, really talented. The other two guys, Scooby Williams and Shamar James, swimming a little bit right now.
Yeah. Well, hand into the slant. It's intercepted. Taken away by the Gators. Jalen Kimber to the house. 39-yard return. Officially the return 40 yards. And the Gators have found their rhythm now on both sides of the ball.
And the second really good play by Jalen Kimber. But Gary Bohannon double clutched this slant route. As a quarterback, you know if it's a quick game, that ball's got to come out. Look, he wants to throw it, doesn't. And that's the little split second that Jalen Kimber needed to step in front of that one and take it to the house. A huge momentum play for Florida to turn the tides.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. 3:10 till more of that dynamite insight.
The ground game has been dominant by USF. I'd get back to running your quarterback and getting the ball downhill.
South Florida averaging about 7.5 yards per play. And on first down, Jaron Mangum, Colorado transfer with the carry. Picks up 7. Mangum, honorable mention, All-American Conference last year, made 8 starts, had at least 2 rushing touchdowns in 6 different games, including a school record 4 straight. Great Marlon Mack was productive, and he put up some numbers similar to that from a scoring standpoint.
I like watching him. He reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, he's big, tall, runs kind of high, but he's super physical.
Bohannon keeps this one and will scramble for the first down and turn it back inside for a minute. And it turns into a 13-yard run. He is shifty.
Yeah. Broke a little arm tackle by Brenton Cox there.
Led Big 12 quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns.
You really right now got to fight the urge, if you're USF, of trying to take a shot here. It feels like you need to get back in this game in one play, but you don't. You're getting everything you want on the ground. Keep it going.
If they have a 2-minute offense, you try to get it downfield in a hurry. They've been very deliberate over the course of this game. Bohannon incomplete.
You saw center Brad Cecil turn around and actually speak to Gary Bohannon there. I've talked to this offensive staff just about what he brings at center. Solid player, understands leverage, hand placement. They said he's the one that calls everything. He calls all the protections. He identifies the point linebacker. He identifies the front. He is the communicator on offense for South Florida.
41st career start for Cecil tonight. He's from Jacksonville out of Bartram Trail High School. Second down 10. And that is incomplete. That'll leave 3rd and 10. He's trying to find Xavier Weaver.
I don't love it. Right, I mean, minute and 40, you had about a minute and 50-something seconds 2 plays ago with 2 timeouts. And again, I think USF feels like they got to get all 14 points back in one play, and it's 2 minutes, but you have a ton of time.
Yeah, well, Weaver was reliable early. First 3 targets were completions to him. They've missed on the last 4, and we're seeing some of the inconsistency from Bohannon's passing game. He's misfired on his last 5 attempts. Third and 10. And he pops out of the pocket, lowers his shoulder, and looks like he got it with extra effort. Dean and Helm were right there, and he powered through both of the DBs.
Another simulated pressure here. Looks like blitz, just 4 coming for Florida. And another really good job by Bohannon. Reeds weren't there. It was great man coverage on the outside by Florida, and gets just enough. Again, still 2 timeouts, so the clock is ticking. Minute and 13 left here, but you got plenty of time.
Late shuffle for Florida. Minute to play and a half. Toss. They want to throw out of this. Looking for Bohannon, who's covered, and now a chance to run it. And a dive out of bounds to stop the clock. And a pickup of 3. That was a lot of work for 3 yards. John Cannon, probably Sean Atkins, the wide receiver, wanted to throw it, and they had Bohannon covered out of the backfield.
You mentioned Weaver and Bohannon been not on the same page, lined up here at the top of your screen. Really still their best option through the air.
4-man rush down the sideline and incomplete, but a flag comes flying. Chris Carter, the tight end, blanketed by Trevez Johnson.
Pass intended for 88, Chris Carter.
little pick play on the outside. Never gets his head around. It's pretty good timing, though.
Pass interference on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Did they get the flag on the pick?
It had to be. Yeah, little pick play with the wheel around it. And it was Xavier Weaver on the outside that's really trying to get a piece of a linebacker there.
They didn't give a number that the pass interference was called on. I'll show it to you in a moment. 2nd and 21 now. Bohannon double clutches, and that's to the sideline. Good. And they'll leave 3rd and medium. Weaver hauls it in for 17. This is the play prior where the flag came.
Yeah, Weaver's going to come down and just get a little piece of Johnson here on his way through.
All just inside the 40-yard line.
I mean, you see that all the time, right? It wasn't as blatant as a guy standing and doing like a moving screen in basketball. I'm not trying to pick apart every flag that we've seen tonight, but oftentimes that doesn't get called either.
Bulls have been great on 3rd down. And they pick up another one, another conversion. 2 timeouts remaining, 33 seconds left in the half.
You've got to use one of your timeouts here.
Timeout. South Florida. They're second. Should be a 30-second timeout.
Up 14 right now. USF has got to at least get 3 out of this drive with 33 seconds left, 1 timeout. Middle of the field, still an option here through the air.
Bohannon wanted to go deep, and it's tipped and knocked out of bounds. Great play by Bernie. They had Gunnar Greenwald trying to slip past the linebacker.
I tell you what, this looks like a really dangerous play, and it is. They're trying to take a shot downfield as you see the pressure closing in, but it's a really smart job by Bohannon. I know you'd like that ball to be higher, but the clock went off in his head, and the last thing you want to do there is take a sack. So getting the ball out of his hands was a really smart move, vet move there.
10th play of the drive. Bohannon 6 of 16 tonight. South Florida has had plenty of success on the ground.
Florida bringing pressure.
Got a whistle immediately before the snap, and the timeout taken by the Gators.
Timeout. Florida, they're first.
Before that timeout, Florida was bringing pressure. Let's see if they decide to play coverage here. It looks like it with 2 safeties.
Empty backfield, 5 wide. Bohannon goes deep, too high, and nearly picked. Avery Helm had it for the taking.
Boy, and Bohannon really missed one there. Had a dig route. Really wide open. Jimmy Horn over the middle of the field, and that one just got away from him. And Avery Helm, who had a big play earlier in the game, forcing a fumble on the first drive, almost had another huge play.
South Florida 5 of 7 on 3rd down tonight.
First down's not everything here, right? If you can pick up 5 or 6, you're in a more manageable field goal range, so not necessarily needing to get all of it here.
Kicker's got a big leg, swing pass, nice move to the inside, Battie, and he gets taken down. And they only get 3. So they have to use a timeout here with 15 seconds to go. 49-yard attempt. Gators will use a timeout.
Florida, they're second.
Punter is the holder. This one is good. Columbia, Missouri, we might be going back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That went through the back of the end zone.
You're still the mayor there in Columbia.
We will head to halftime.
Coach Napier, young defense you're playing tonight. How do you calm them down and keep their confidence up through halftime?
Yeah, it's about being an assignment sound, right? First, second, and third levels, being on the same page. Hurt us with some read game, quarterback runs. So back to the drawing board. We know exactly why they're having success. It's about fixing it, right? So it's about communication, alignment, eye discipline, and doing your job.
You mentioned quarterback runs. Will that be a part of the conversation with what you may do to adjust on offense at halftime?
Say that one more time.
Quarterback runs, is that going to be a part of your discussion on what you may need to add at halftime?
No, I think we moved it well. Outside of a couple stops in the red area, you know, we got to finish in the red zone, but overall the plan's working offensively.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.
No chance for a return. Couple things went against South Florida in the first yards per carry. The ground game has been there for South Florida. Anthony Richardson takes a snap for the Gators and fires one complete, and he can put some juice on it. Justin Shorter picks up 4.
Yeah, there's the velocity that we talked about. I mean, he mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or something, he could throw the ball 80 yards. So he's got a ton of velocity. It's really the accuracy that when you go back and watch the tape that's a little bit all over the place at times. But I'll tell you what, he's been laser sharp tonight, 8 of 10 through the air. He's got to hit a few more chunk plays to get this offense going.
It's Montrell Johnson to start the second half at running back, and he finds nothing. Torian Hansford, transfer from Missouri, throws him down for a loss of 3.
Defensive tackle Rashad Chaney, great job there getting penetration, blew that play up before it really got started. And Florida here, who wanted to start fast, and as I mentioned, get some consistency now in a 3rd and long here in the opening drive.
So you got a Missouri transfer up front with Hansford, a Minnesota transfer in Chaney. South Florida will bring an extra man from the edge. Richardson trying to escape, and he finds a seam. A first down run for Anthony Richardson. Pickup of 16.
Oh, it's a great job by Richardson, going through his read, stepping up in the pocket and listening to his feet. Watch his eyes go to the right here. 1 hitch, 2 hitch, use your legs, right? And I love at the end of the play here, Billy Napier mentioned they're worried about running him slides, gets down, protects themselves.
I listen to my feet. They say, get off the elliptical. It's enough.
Do you get on the elliptical? No. I was going to say.
Think about it, though.
But your feet say, nah.
Not today, big boy. Richardson.
Little miscommunication there. Like Shorter was on an out route, and Richardson expected him to curl that back in.
We mentioned the limited starts for Anthony Richardson. It's also a first-year starter in a new offense and working not brand new receivers, but trying to get on the same page with these guys. He'll take off on a draw on 2nd and 10 and gets stood up. That will leave 3rd down.
Yeah, that right there, the first downhill designed run in 2 games. Last week, the designed run, if you count 1 or 2 of them, were quarterback draws. This one is a designed, get Anthony Richardson, all 238 pounds of him, downhill. Bounce that one to the edge a little bit, and again, find themselves in a less than ideal 3rd and longer situation.
Huge win for Florida, the opener against Utah. And an upset win at home for the Gators. Only SEC team to have faced a pair of top 25 teams in the first 2 weeks. Richardson pulls it back, fires into the waiting hands of the opposition. It's Dwayne Bowles with the pick, and he's got a full head of steam. Bowles finally taken down at the 17 by Richardson. Indecision leads to the pick and a 38-yard return.
Oh, he's working the right side of the field. He's got another corner route that he's trying to get to. It's not there. And watch his feet as he works right, gets back to the, watch his feet, not underneath him. See that? Feet were not set. He's fallen away a little bit, trying to drive that ball in there. Again, watch his feet. Boy, bad decision even if his feet were under him, but those are some of the issues, right? When you go back and you really watch the concepts that were successful against Utah, it was a lot of flood routes, a lot of things that routes came to him. His eyes didn't have to go from right all the way to the left, right? And as a young quarterback, sometimes when you have to see more of the field, you miss guys like that, right? You go 1 to 2, and now you're back to the left, and oh, there's a linebacker there, and you just don't see him. It happens. That's what Billy Napier is talking to him right there. Go listen to your feet. Don't force that throw. See it before you let it go.
Dwayne Bowles was the injured South Florida player. He's helped off after his interception return. Gary Bohannon's got great field position, and he throws on the run incomplete.
Jordan, going back to what you were talking about with Anthony Richardson's feet, are there any takeaways from what you were telling us in pregame about how he's able to just muscle the football and doesn't ever really put everything he has into throws during warmups?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to. He's so gifted, right? And so, you know, I was down there trying to see if I could get the radar gun going, see how fast he was really pushing that ball. And he goes through warm-ups very casually. He's such a confident player. The lights come on, and he feels like he's got it. That time, it was less of an arm problem, more of a feet and decision-making problem.
On 2nd and 10, Batty, and he picks up 5. Shamar James with a key fumble recovery on the Bulls' first drive with the stop.
I tell you what, that was a huge tackle. That was coming right towards me on the sideline, and there were not a lot of blue jerseys in front of the ball carrier. James working through a block to be able to make that stop.
USF 5 of 8 on 3rd down tonight. Bohannon keeps it, and he's got a first down. Nearly down to the 5. They'll mark him at the 6.
That's a great play design here. You're going to see Batty come across and then be a lead blocker. A lot of times you see that guy just continue his zone path to the right, but ends up being a lead blocker for Bohannon there.
We mentioned some of those assignments with Billy Napier at halftime. Brenton Cox Jr., he slides down inside on that play. Somebody's got to replace if he's going to play that play down inside. Just no linebacker, no other defender home for the Gators.
Fake toss to Mangum. Bohannon straight ahead. Touchdown, South Florida. Gary Bohannon is not bothered by the scene or the stage. Big 12 champion quarterback at Baylor last year.
Boy, watch how this movement here takes Amari Burney to the left and completely out of position there. And that's all you needed to do. That little fake is to set up the block, get the linebacker out of position, and then work back up inside of him. A great play design there for the touchdown.
They're going to go for 2, make it a 3-point game. It's too early.
No, I like it. No point in being down 5.
Flip out and a throw. Caught. 2-point conversion. Weaver on the receiving end. Remember, they tried it earlier. Now we know that the role that Sean Atkins plays. Sean Atkins has been on the field for 2 plays tonight. One time he didn't throw, this time he did, and he caught Florida napping.
Well, he's the gadget guy. This pass goes backwards. It's so hard to see, though, as a defender. Rashad Torrance, the safety, comes down to help with the tackle. Just didn't see Xavier Weaver leaking behind him, and we got ourselves a ball game with USF getting on the board, down 3.
Times in and forever with Bobby Bowden at Florida State, and he's got his team now within 3 points and what would be one of the biggest wins in school history. Since 4 different head coaches, they've had now 8 different quarterbacks since Quentin Flowers was such a great leader for this program. They have 2 wins all time against SEC teams. This would be a monster one with them. And they haven't won a road game against a top 25 opponent since Skip Holtz led him to a win in South Bend against Notre Dame in 2011. Richardson 8 of 12, 78 yards, 1 pick. Two tight ends, Zanders and Zipper are in the game. And movement, bring him back.
Start. Number 67 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And look, Billy Napier said at halftime, this is a young team. It's new system when we talked to him, talking about these players. And I think they're still trying to figure out really the identity of this offense. And we saw so many fireworks week 1 against Utah.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson was dynamic with his legs and just hasn't been an option for a number of reasons. As the coaching staff says, injuries behind Anthony Richardson, trying to save him, not get him injured. But you're in a 24-21 game right now against a team that shouldn't be 3 points down, really, frankly. So got to do what you got to do on offense. And I think that means Anthony Richardson being a bigger part of the rushing attack.
Zipper receives that one, a gain of 4. 11 for 106 on the ground against Utah, and not just 100 yards rushing, but explosive plays.
Some of that was designed, and some of that is also getting him on the edge. Right? Your quarterback just went through a full progression through an interception. You know how to ease him, give him confidence, and narrow his eyes. Get him on the run. Give him 1 or 2 reads on the run, shorten the field, and if it's not there, he's already at full speed, ready to get downhill and pick up yards.
Four-man rush, and he fires high and incomplete. Pearsall, the nearest receiver.
Boy, just really, really good coverage there on the back end by USF, and I can't give defensive coordinator Bob Shoop enough credit. I mean, this is a USF defense that came into this as one of the worst pass defenses in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, not good.
BYU tore him up in the first quarter. Here's the first punt of the night. It's Jeremy Crawshaw, a couple of Australian punters on either side. Crawshaw gets it away. 22-year-old from New South Wales. And that is a 32-yard punt.
Found his new home, and he's knocking at the door of what would be a huge upset here in the Swamp.
On the run, and that's complete to the 48-yard line. Special thanks to USF Sports Information Director Brian Seeker as we drove to Ocala yesterday afternoon to meet with the coaches and a host of USF players. And Cole, I don't know if we've ever been more impressed with any one player than what Gary Bohannon showed us from a maturity standpoint.
Well, think about some of the leadership that he's been around too. Dave Aranda, Matt Rule, now obviously playing for Coach Jeff Scott. I mean, he's been around some guys that obviously know how to create the culture needed to win football games.
Option look, bad spacing, but that T will turn it into a positive. We said, what did you learn about coaching when you played for Rule, Aranda, Scott, all very different personalities, different ways they deliver information? He said, what I've learned is there's no one right way. There's also no wrong way. As long as you connect with your players and you put them in the best position to succeed, you're doing your job as a coach.
I love that quote, Tom. No right way, no wrong way. There's so many different effective ways to be able to lead, to be able to motivate, and to be able to help young people learn how to be good football players and good people.
He did point out, he said, now Travis Trickett, my OC, he gets on me. He makes sure that I'm right if I'm ever wrong. Bulls looking for lead, and they will hand it off to Battie, and he picks up 5.
And I got to be honest with you, Tom, sitting in that meeting and hearing the name Trickett and hearing the quarterback talk about how hard his coach was on him just brought a smile to my face, thinking, young man, you have no earthly idea what it's like to be coached hard by a Trickett. But Travis doing an amazing job. Obviously, his brother Clint, the offensive coordinator at Marshall, they put on a split zone clinic against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. Travis doing a great job here tonight as well. His father, the offensive line coach now at Jacksonville State.
It was in your face once or twice back in your playing days on 2nd and 5. Good stop by the Florida defense. And Chris McClellan, the freshman, up front. They'll leave 3rd and a short 5 for USF.
This has been an area where USF has gone to the quarterback run, right? Giving Bohannon an extra blocker, creating a larger surface with a tight end or two. One tight end in the game right here.
Money down. See if the Bulls can cash in. Stutter step and a surge, but not enough. McClellan again.
I don't think you even think about it here. I think you keep going. You're playing with house money right now, right?
It would be a 52-yard game tying attempt from here. They are 4 of 6 on the season on 4th down. They've already converted 1 tonight.
Well, they get in this unbalanced formation where it's just a tackle at the bottom of the screen. Right here, they're going to motion this tight end back this direction and look out for the quarterback run.
They'll shift 2 of them. Out of the gun. And a flag and some movement up front on that USF O-line.
False start. 64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Cole is the anticipation killer from an O-line perspective.
That's the tough part of it, Tom. You're sitting there waiting, and especially when you're in gun. Obviously, a lot of times when you're coming to play on the road, you're going to go on movement. There is not going to be a noise. You can say the clap is louder than anything we can verbalize. You're not going to hear it in this place. I've played in this place when Florida was on a roll. I can speak to experience. The noise is absolutely real. It's deafening. And just that anticipation of trying to convert a 4th down, it's tough to sit there and hold your water.
And that little shift up front from Florida got Harris to react. So first punt of the night for Andrew Stokes, 28-year-old. He's from Perth, Australia. 12 players on the field for Florida. They got to run one off. It's their first punt coverage of the night. The Bulls didn't get the snap off.
Give themselves a little more room here for the punt.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
2 Australian punters in this one. Little used until just lately. Schrader actually moved into Crawshaw's room when Crawshaw first left Australia. All the pro kick guys had the same house. Would-be roommates. One was going one way, on the other. And Stokes, a 28-year-old, played 7 years of Aussie football. He was a warehouse worker to make ends meet. That one will hang up and check up. 32-yard punt, long field for Florida. Chat with Anthony on the phone yesterday and handed off. Couple of yards up the middle, and he said, you know, growing up in Gainesville, I feel like it's my responsibility to represent the school and the city. And when I get little kids around town want to yell at me, hey Aunt, I got to stop and talk to them for a little bit and give them hope, especially considering where he came from in that side of town.
And think about the pressure. You start your career with 2 ranked opponents at the Swamp in your 2 first starts.
Mel Kiper has him as a number 4 quarterback off the board. Handed off this time to Naquan Wright. Picks up 6, 3rd and 1 coming up. A little brother just about as stoic as Anthony is, huh? You think he got impressed when Anthony dunked from the free throw line?
I would be.
False start. Number 9 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Keep an eye on Ricky Pearsall. Actually, that might be Trent Whittemore right here. Tall receiver working the middle of the field.
3rd and 6. Pressure. And lets it sail high. Very interesting point brought up by Bob Shoop yesterday. He said, we have told our guys that there will be throws that sail high and wide, and be ready on the back end, especially off of tips.
Yeah, anytime you have this much velocity on the ball and you throw from different platforms as well as Anthony Richardson does, sometimes it's going to get away from you. And that was Trent Whittemore. Big receiver, big target, work in the middle of the field, just a little bit of traffic in the face. A hand there getting in front of Richardson, I think, caused that ball to sail on him. I love this right here, though. Just look how casually Billy Napier is having a conversation with this quarterback. He knows a young quarterback is still developing. Those conversations are so important. What'd you see? Why'd you go there?
Here's Xavier Weaver with the seam. He got tripped up right at the logo. That would have been huge. Huge win for Brian Kelly and LSU. Steamrolled Southern last week. 2:35 to play. Great field position for USF, and Gary Bohannon pounds his way to a 10-yard gain on 1st down. Bulls looking for a road win against a top 25 team. The last time that happened in a weather-delayed game at South Bend. Skip Holtz was the coach then, and that was an emotional win for Skip, where his dad obviously won a national championship and Skip played. And Brad Scott trying to reverse the family mojo. He was 0-5 all-time against Florida when he was the head coach at South Carolina. Son Jeff trying to get the first Scott family win against the Gators. They say it was a gain of 9, now 2nd and 1. Bohannon deep, too deep.
That last play, excuse me, the previous play, Florida brought an edge pressure. I feel like they really got to start forcing the issue to slow down the run. Maybe you really can't be as threatened by Bohannon and this receiver group. You're talented on the outside. Got to start adding to the count in the box, because USF's going to get right back to the ground game. And with an empty set here, maybe a quarterback draw.
Bohannon averaging 9 yards a carry. Little read, he gave it up, and they don't get it. Dukes taken down by Bernie, who got penetration and turned him upfield.
Yeah, Bernie is going to fly upfield out of the screen here to really stop this jet sweep. Right there, comes into the screen. Great job of contain, turning that back to the inside.
They'll leave the offense on the field and go for it on 4th down again.
Florida brings in Desmond Watson, brings in some size on the inside here.
Greenwald and Carter, 2 tight end set. Battie has the career high. He's in the backfield. Bohannon keeps it, and he picks up the 1st down. I thought he should have kept it on the last read.
Yeah, and again, that set, that formation that USF has been running, really tackle eligible right there. It's a completely unbalanced set, and Florida hasn't aligned to it very well. They're 1 short on that short side of the field, and with a mobile quarterback, that means you have the advantage running in that direction. Defended pretty well by Florida, but Bohannon has really made the first guy miss almost every time he's run the football tonight.
The misdirection. Florida seeks it out, and Desmond Watson with the throwdown for a loss of 2.
Boy, again, what an athlete at 400+ pounds. This guy, watch him. The extension right there, throws the center out of the way. And that's a fast running back. He tosses to the ground there. Boy, what an athlete. Whoa. It's like Andre the Giant just tossing WWE style.
Heavy underdog, the Bulls from South Florida, looking for their first ever win against the Gators. And this is Xavier Weaver. Weaves his way for a 13-yard gain and a 1st down.
I'm really surprised at how much space they're giving these receivers on the outside. Look, I think Florida is a little more athletic, a little more talented on the outside. I would press, be physical at the line of scrimmage. Look at all the free access here. I mean, that's pitch and catch. Get a couple linemen out. Well, I'd be playing a little closer to the line of scrimmage on the outside if I was Florida and selling out a little bit more to stop the run. That's really what's hurt them tonight, to the tune of 260 yards on the ground for USF.
No room on the edge. Betty escorted out by Trevez Johnson.
Well, that's a really good play by Trevez Johnson. Took on a tight end blocker, shed him, physical at the point of attack. Watch this here. Throws his right shoulder into the tight end right there. Keeps his left arm clean and finishes.
Bohannon lets it go over the middle, complete. That's a first down to Xavier Weaver. And Gary Bohannon trying to put his name among the great USF quarterbacks of years gone by.
But again, look at the space. They're giving USF's best receiver, Xavier Weaver, at the line of scrimmage. You can't give him that much space.
Not to mention, Jordan, those linebackers fly into the line of scrimmage on that play fake.
Yeah. I mean, as they should be, right? Sell out. That's why you got to be more physical and in the face of these receivers on the outside. Don't let them get a clean release. And they are this time.
Pressure. Bohannon handed it off just in time, and Betty bounces to the outside to the goal line and just short. Bulls will have a first and goal inside the 1.
Boy, Brenton Cox almost blew that play up before it started. But T able to escape out of that one, and now they go tempo, and Florida's not lined up.
Florida's got to run a man in late, and there'll be a flag on that. 12 men on the field for the Gators. That'll move them forward about the length, well, less than the length of the football, and keep it with first down.
Offside on the defense, number 3. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
See co-defensive coordinator Sean Spencer there on the sideline. Came to Florida from the New York Giants. Really has this defensive line playing at a high level, I believe, coming into this game. They've gotten pushed around a little bit tonight.
Gators bring in Watson to anchor the D-line.
Timeout. South Florida, they're first.
Lead of the second half. Gary Bohannon gives it up and stopped short is Michael Dukes. Desmond Watson, first one there. It'll leave second and goal.
Boy, you just couldn't move him. They ran right to that A gap on the left side. Desmond Watson stood up the center.
Yeah,
didn't give an inch.
That wasn't just size, Jordan. That was pad level. That was getting the hands on the offensive lineman initially. Just great technique there by Watson.
11th play of the drive. Bigger back, Dukes in the game right now for the Bulls. Option, Dukes corrals to the pylon. No signal. Touchdown now, and he got in. Side judge or the line judge went flying back. The play at the pylon, Brenton Cox ran into him. How about this? Nose for the ball and for the end zone.
Boy, great play design puts Brenton Cox in such a difficult situation. They fake the inside zone read, so Brenton Cox takes a step up, and then it's a race to the pylon, and Superman to finish that one off.
11 play, 51-yard drive. And the extra point is good.
Fourth quarter.
No return. I was looking for one of its biggest wins in program history. And they're the ones with the lead. Richardson reverses field. Pressured and gets rid of it. Just in time to avoid the sack. Now Bob Shoop is now in a position, the defensive coordinator playing with the lead. He loves to bring pressure.
Yeah, and he's going to bring pressure off the edge. But right here, that play fake just didn't threaten Kelly at all on the edge. He stayed home, and that was one thing Bob Shoop mentioned. Contain, right? We're not going to sell out for a run that's going away. We're going to make sure that Richardson can't get the edge on us.
Shoop 3 different stops in the SEC. Time with James Franklin at Penn State after their great run at Vandy. Lobbed on the sideline. What a grab! Justin Shorter climbed the ladder. 29-yard gain and a first down.
Boy, this is a heck of a play by Shorter. 6'4" on the outside. The ball is kind of a tweener, right? It's not a back shoulder. It's not out in front over the top, and Shorter makes a great adjustment to go up and get that one over the defender. That's the kind of play that Richardson needs. It wasn't a perfect throw, but your guy made a play. Now you can build upon that.
Into plus territory now. 10.5 to play. Montrell Johnson Jr. First down.
Boy, look at the push here by the offensive line. Cyrus Torrance there, moving a couple guys, getting up to the linebacker there to spring a hole for Montrell Johnson.
Cybo's been doing that for years, highly recruited out of Louisiana. When he spent time in Lafayette with this staff previously, he had been a dominant Sun Belt offensive lineman for multiple seasons.
So the only thing he misses being in Florida is the spicy food that they had back in Louisiana. Richardson keeps it. And he's dragged down by the second man there. It's a safety, Mekhi LaPointe.
Sometimes when an offensive lineman pulls, your eyes don't come with you. This time for Austin Barber, not only do the eyes come, but the pop comes as well.
Oh, goodness.
Go get him, big fella.
Sent Ben Knox to Tuesday.
That is, you send a message to the edge defender on that play of, you don't want to play me that way. That's when guys will begin to duck underneath you, play a little bit further upfield, and that opens up run lanes.
This is Johnson again. Pick up a 5.
Well, we were just talking about Osiris Torrance. He's taking over this game right now. A monster block there as well. Just took his defender 5 or 6 yards out of the way.
It's funny, Tom, you're talking about the food that he misses. I've talked to multiple coaches on that previous staff that said they would intentionally go recruit him just to have his grandmother's cooking, that it was that good. That's all he wanted to do.
Bill Kuiper's got him as a number 4 guard in the 23 draft. Keith 3rd and 3. Johnson. First down. Trying to find the sideline. And he's inside the 10. Flag late. They've been a hit out of bounds on Greer. And that discussion continues between Johnson and the 5th-year player at linebacker for USF.
After the play was over, personal foul, dead ball, late hit out of bounds, number 5 on the defense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, on the quarterback run earlier, a few plays ago, Richard Garage missed a block this time. A great down block here by 76. You see him take his man all the way inside. That gives Montrell Johnson the edge, and he makes the one guy miss. And off to the races.
It was a second push from Greer that drew the flag. That one not so much, but this one, yeah, when you send him into the photogs. 1st and goal, Florida. Richardson in zone. Intercepted! Picked off by Morris Brown. Brown rolled down. The play ended about 60 yards prior to that. But what a takeaway for South Florida with a 4-point lead late in the fourth.
I hate the play call, Tom. How did they get down there? They ran down the throat of USF behind Osiris Torrance, behind Richard Garage. You get down inside the 10.
First down.
And you throw a back shoulder fade. Your quarterback's been struggling all night. That is a heck of a play by a true freshman, Morris Brown, against the bigger Justin Shorter. And when USF needed a play, backed up, they got it. Yeah, back to the interception. This is a run play. Look at the blocking here. This is a run play right here. Anthony Richardson has an alert on this play. It is a called run. If he likes a matchup, he has the freedom to take the one-on-one matchup. But as a young quarterback, this is a learning experience. You got down there on the backs of your offensive linemen. They were moving people up front. Just hand that one off. Make it easy. You're inside the 5, inside the 10, whatever it was. Hand that football off. Major mistake for Anthony Richardson.
Gary Bohannon will let one go down the sideline and incomplete. They're going to take another shot. These two programs separated by 118 miles, 2 hours down 75, and decades of history on Florida's side.
Boy, it just feels right now that Florida's a little shell-shocked, right? They're looking for leadership. Ventrell Miller injured, not in the game today. He's a big, calming voice. He's a leader on that defense, and right now they look just a little lost.
Second and 10. Quarterback run, and Florida's got it defended. Umenmielen, sophomore from Manor, Texas, with the stop for the Gators. Third down.
This right here, one of the biggest plays of the game so far, no doubt. Just a little over 7 minutes left in this game. The Florida offense has struggled most of the night. One touchdown coming on a pick six. Third and long here. You have to get off the field, make USF punt, set yourself up for good field position. And more importantly, this defensive line has got to keep contained on Gary Bohannon. Don't let him get outside the pocket.
Bohannon flicks it. It is intercepted. Taken away by Trevez Johnson.
Job by Brenton Cox rushing off the right side. Instead of trying to win on this pass rush, look at his eyes on the quarterback. He's making sure Bohannon doesn't get outside the pocket. Makes it tough on him. A tipped pass there. And let's keep an eye on this. Does he catch it clean? Well, I think it's closer than maybe it looked initially. As he rolls over here, the ball does shift, but hard to tell if the ground was used. His hands are under it there initially. Does it split his hands? And you can see there's still a control issue there a little bit.
The play is under further review. The ruling on the field was an interception by Florida. After further review, the ruling on the field stands of an interception, first down Florida.
It's just too hard to see how much the ground played into that.
And an opportunity for Anthony Richardson. Etienne picks up maybe 3. This rotation at running back for Florida has meant that Etienne has been in the stable more than on the field. His 5th carry of the night, sharing time with Montrell Johnson and Naquan Wright.
And again, Etienne is a guy they mentioned. Let's get him some touches through the air. Yeah, find ways to get him the ball in space. Something Florida has not done. They haven't targeted the running backs. Not many easy perimeter throws for Anthony Richardson.
Etienne, full head of steam. And somehow he found his way through. Special help from his center, Cole Egwukan, paved the way.
excellent hustle by Big 65. It is tough to snap and then get out in the open field and watch him just motoring through. A lot of times you don't have to get a devastating block. Force a defender to change their track, give the ability of the back to cut back inside. Excellent work.
First and goal now. Mom watching. Etienne inside the 5. Big brother, ACC's all-time leading rusher. Now the baby trying to make a name for himself. One with the Jaguars, one with the Gators. They didn't expect this one to be this close.
Big double team by right guard, right tackle on that last play. Remember, this is a lighter defensive line that Florida is facing.
Sugar huddle here. Expect a quick snap once everybody gets set here.
Etienne, end zone. Florida back in front. Point after good. Coaching continues on the Florida sideline. Trevor Etienne carrying the load on that drive for Florida. Chance for a return. Brian Battie tripped up shy of the 30. He's been picked off twice tonight. No room to run. Brenton Cox Jr. swallows up Michael Dukes.
Well, Brenton Cox playing at a high level right here, coming off the edge. Couple really nice plays. Let's just run a guy over, huh? Jervon Dexter had a quiet night. He was there as well. Florida needs a lot from this defensive front here with just over 4 minutes left. If you're USF, don't have to change your game plan. The running game has been working tonight. Second down, see if you can pick up 5 of it, get yourself in a manageable third down.
Whoa, Cox blew it up. Bohannon pulls it back, and it turns into a 1-yard gain.
Oh, my lordy. Watch Brenton Cox. That's a full-grown man, ladies and gentlemen. That's his job. Doesn't matter if you have the ball or not, you're mine. And a great job by the rest of the defensive line containing Bohannon, and a monstrous third down here.
Brenton Cox is basically Mark McGuire with a 3-0 count.
Yes. Here's Cox here at the top of the screen.
Got a great jump. Bohannon to the slant. Caught. First down for Brown. And he's got it to midfield. Joffrey Brown picks up 20.
Wow. Little slant right on the inside. Trevez Johnson undercut that one. We saw Jalen Kimber earlier have an interception on the slant over the top that time. Johnson went underneath. The throw was out in front for a big gain.
Clock rolling, 3:05 to play. Remember, USF used a timeout on their previous scoring drive. Handoff for Battie. Found a hole. Gain of 8. Amari Burney to stop.
Boy, Battie, 5'8", 165. Just broke a tackle that should have stopped him about the line of scrimmage. Instead, a big gain to set up a 2nd and short.
It's a career high 142 for Battie, who was an All-American returner last year. First consensus All-American since George Selby, the great defensive end, back on the top 10 team in 2007.
Last 2nd and short, they took a shot play. Going to have man coverage on the outside.
Pressure. Just barely got rid of it before Cox came through like a wrecking ball.
Brenton Cox is single-handedly taking over the 4th quarter right now. 3rd huge play on this drive alone. Just nobody blocked him there. That's one where you hope that he falls for a little play action. Trails the running back, doesn't that time get fooled at all.
I don't know if hope is a game plan for Brenton Cox Jr.
No. You take that play and you scribble it, you cross it off, and you don't come back to it.
They're about a yard away from field goal range for Spencer Schrader.
Yeah, 2-down territory here for USF.
Bohannon sneaks through for the first down. 2 minutes to play.
Just so crafty. What a veteran move to duck back down inside at the last second right here. Fake pitch. That play's been successful all night. Nobody home, and then right there. Get the shoulder pads down, get north and south, pick up first down yardage. Veteran play.
You just feel like at some point in the next couple plays, USF is going to test Florida deep. Had a few man-to-man opportunities. Haven't hit many big plays downfield. But here late in the fourth, feel like that moment's coming.
90 seconds to play. Battie finds a seam. You said a moment ago that no reason to get away from the ground game, and they are just gashing Florida.
I mean, Battie, again, I mentioned 5'8", 165. He's tough to see for these linebackers. Getting lost behind the wash of the offensive line, and again, another advantageous second down and medium, second down and short. USF's been really good on early downs all night.
Under a minute to play. Bulls have a pair of timeouts. Out route, caught, first down, Xavier Weaver.
Boy, it's like deja vu. Deja vu last time down on this end. We talked about how much cushion and free access Florida's given these guys. Look at all that room. Again, Jason Marshall, a guy that really good man coverage. I would trust him to play tight, especially to the boundary when you can use the sideline there. Just too much free space and an easy throw for Bohannon.
Florida has all the tradition. They have all the history. But right now, at this moment, USF has momentum. And a timeout taken by the Gators, playing on their heels. We've got 50 seconds remaining in regulation in the swamp.
Florida challenging these receivers on the outside. You see the press coverage at the top.
Baylor transfer Gary Bohannon, the quarterback. And he keeps it. 45 seconds left after that gain of 5. 44, excuse me. And the Bulls use the timeout. Joyce, he has a chance to be a hero tonight. But first, Bohannon. Bulls have a timeout left. Bad snap! They fall on it back at the 35-yard line. Wow, that changes things.
Wow, center Brad Cecil. That one just barely ever got off the ground. Low and left for Bohannon. So tough for a quarterback whose eyes are up at the snap, trying to read coverage, read a defender. And now flirting with not being in field goal range.
Yeah, you go from a 36-yard field goal attempt to a 51-yard attempt. A lot of movement for the Gators up front. They're going to run it. And a huge stunt. Cox comes up with it again. One-man wrecking crew. Timeout. Florida. Bad hold, and he muscles it wide right.
Ball just slips a little bit as it goes to put it down. You see the snap is accurate. Just loses control of the football.
I'm amazed he made the kick look that good.
I was going to say that is a nightmare for a kicker. Can't believe he got that off the ground even. Tell you what, it wasn't pretty for Florida, but when you're a young football team, new head coach, new culture, these are learning moments, and a W.
USF used a timeout with 2 seconds left.
And Florida got out of here by the skin of their teeth.
Coach, it's all about winning and losing football games. Your team found a way to win. What did you learn about your team tonight?
Well, some of the same things that we learned in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we got fight in us, right? We've got the intangibles. This group responds. We need to execute better, right? We need to do the simple things better. We made it hard tonight, but, you know, credit to South Florida, you know. Jeff and his team, year 3, they continue to improve. They added some really good players in the offseason, so a lot of respect for South Florida, how hard they played. You know, we got to win tonight, but we got a lot of things to continue to focus on to improve.
A lot of emotions had to be going through your mind in the last couple of minutes of that game. You have turnovers, back and forth, big plays, and then all of a sudden the missed field goal. Can you just take us through maybe a moment that you recall where you felt good about things, felt confident about things?
Well, I mean, when we get the takeaway, right? Big, huge play by Trevez Johnson to give us a short field, to have an opportunity to go punch it in there and take the lead. But I can't credit South Florida enough, man. I mean, I've coached at that level. Ton of respect for the program Jeff's building. He's got some momentum. He's got a good football team.
You have a lot of history with not only Jeff, but his father, Brad. I saw you have an exchange with both of those. What did you want to share with both of those young men tonight?
I mean, I told Jeff I was proud of him. You know, I mean, I know how hard that is, you know, and he's in year 3, and certainly you can see the development. So, I'm not, you know, obviously we won the game, but I'm extremely proud of Jeff and his program. A lot of credit to how they played tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.